Hey everybody, Brandon here, channel is Tech Chomper, and today we're going to talk about the pros and cons of the Zhiyun Weebill S gimbal. There's a lot of bugs out here that are going to hear about this, and so are you. And by the end of the video, I'm hoping that you will have some more information to make a better decision about whether this is the right gimbal for you. Let's talk about the build quality first on this thing. It is mostly made of plastic. And that is one, to keep the price down, and two, to keep the weight down. I don't know what that bug was, but I'm not gonna hang out and visit. And so, yeah, it's made of plastic. That's okay. It's still pretty durable. I think if you take care of it, you know, put it in its own pouch in a bag, don't throw a bunch of other sharp, hard objects against it, it's gonna get scratched up for sure. If you take care of it, I think it'll last you a good while. It seems to be pretty well made. The tripod is also plastic. Seems pretty well made though. I don't think it's gonna fall apart. You can hold by it, although I must admit it makes me nervous to hold my whole rig by a plastic tripod that's attached on the bottom. But so far it seems like it's pretty well made. Holds up pretty good. There was something in those woods. I don't know what that was. So the top arms of the gimbal are metal, and they have locks on them, which is really nice to be able to balance your gimbal. I've had a gimbal previously without locks, and you can balance them. It's just you're kind of fighting three axes at once, and this is really nice to have just all the axes locked. It does have this really nice OLED screen on here, which is great. My last gimbal, there were a few settings you could obviously do through the buttons, but any of the major tweaks, you really had to go through the app to access all that stuff. And it is nice on this one that you can do it all from the gimbal. You don't really have to go in the app to do it, which is a plus. I just don't always want to have to pull out my phone in order to manage something. So that is definitely a nice feature. So you got 6 modes on this gimbal. You got lock mode, which is going to keep the head pointed straight ahead no matter what you do. You've got pan follow mode, which is going to give you the pan that moves with the gimbal, but the tilt is going to be locked off. You've got your follow mode, which is both pan and tilt will be followed. That's my personal favorite mode, though it is not what I'm using right now. There's also go mode, which is going to give you a lot faster response time. So if you're filming any kind of sports activity, worried about missing your shot, that's going to be the mode for you. Next up you've got is POV mode. That one is going to do all kinds of cool stuff. As you twist and turn, it's just going to follow with you, kind of like a POV drone shot. And the last mode is the vortex mode, which is going to give you the spinning turret of the camera as you go wherever you're going. I would say as far as the modes go, pro. You got pretty much every option you could want in terms of an operator, so definitely a pro. You know, really the coolest feature of this gimbal is its ability to drop in and out of low mode very quickly. You basically don't have to rotate it around or do anything weird. A lot of gimbals, you've got to take the gimbal and kind of hold the camera or put it into a sleep mode and rotate it around to get it upside down. Otherwise it kind of spazzes out in this midsection between what it thinks is up and down as you rotate. And so this one is set up differently. You just grab this rear handle and you can just lift up from the back and suddenly you're in low mode, which is really nice. And then just grab the bottom and tilt back up and you're in normal mode again. I really like it because I love filming my kids in low mode. I love to get on the eye line to get really nice cinematic looking shots. And so having that low mode just easily accessible, man, it's great because with the kids, they're moving fast and I don't really have time to like stop and sleep the camera and flip it over and then flip it back around. It's just nonsense. I don't have time for that. So being able to just flip that, grab the handle and yank it up is perfect for me. So everything you see in this video, I mean, except for the static shots, are all shot on this gimbal if you kind of want to see what this looks like. I'm not doing any kind of special crab walk or any special thing. I'm just trying to walk along and hold my arm reasonably stable with the gimbal, just to kind of give you some idea what the performance is like on this. So I would say ease of use, also a pro. Having the controls right on the gimbal makes it pretty easy to manage this thing. And being plastic, like I said, saves you on some weight, which is really nice. But it does have really powerful motors. So I've seen a lot of different combos of lenses and cameras. I myself had the Canon 24-70 L series, which is not a light lens. It's like a 1 3/4 pound lens shoved on my GH5S here, and with a speed booster in there. Didn't really have any problems, flew fine. So definitely a powerful gimbal. Not gonna carry a cinema camera like a Red or something, but for a person like you or me that's using DSLRs and mirrorless and stuff, it is a great option, really powerful, does a great job. Another pro to this gimbal is the price point. It is cheap. You can pick this thing up for under $350 for the gimbal, which honestly for the functionality is just a steal of a deal. You couldn't touch gimbals like this for under $600 or $800 a few years ago. And so just being able to find something like this for under $350 is a major pro. So I obviously have a lot of pros about this gimbal that I really like. One of the cons, whoa, hello there. One of the cons for me though is that these buttons for operating it are right on the small hand grip, which it is a tiny hand grip. Not that I have giant hands, but it is indeed a tiny grip for a gimbal. And the buttons are right on it. So when I'm sweaty, I'm very concerned I'm gonna short those buttons out. And I don't wanna do that to my gimbal. It'll make me sad. I don't like that at all. And another thing is that the buttons, because they're on that small grip, you really have a bad chance of mashing anything. I mean, honestly, the first time I grabbed it, you just start pushing the joystick without meaning to. You're driving things around. So really, you have to engage a lock on there, which you have to triple tap a button to lock it up. Kind of annoying because if I just want to change a setting quickly, now I've got to unlock it first. So typically I will use the tripod on the bottom and use that as my handle lower down so I don't have to grab where the buttons are, because I really don't want to have to lock and unlock them. So to me, the control placement handle design, I'd say that's a con. So speaking of the little tripod, one nice thing about this tripod is that you can unscrew it from the bottom and mount it up here on the top. It does have a locking pin when you mount it to the top, which is good, so you don't accidentally unscrew it and drop your stuff. So there is a lot to love about this gimbal for under 350 bucks. It is not perfect because nothing is. That's just life, you know? Nothing's gonna be perfect, nothing's gonna do everything the way you want it to. But I do think that this is a really nice gimbal, great power, really great performance, nice form factor. The locks, folds up small and flat, just easy to deal with overall, I would say. All the controls manageable through the display on the unit itself. I say go out and grab one if you're in need of a gimbal and this sounds like a good fit for you. I don't think you're gonna regret it. I haven't. It's Texas, y'all. That's what happens. Well, that wraps up my look at the Zhiyun Weebill S pros and cons. I hope that you found that helpful. If you did, please stop back by the channel. More content coming soon. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. See you next time.